So I wanted to touch on the fear of rejection. And that's probably a pretty common thing that most of us are walking around with. If you think back to when you were young, there was a moment probably when you were rejected, or at least you felt rejected. And in our culture, as far as humans have been around, we depended upon the culture to survive. So ultimately, the fear of rejection is also the fear, or underneath that is the fear of death. So when we have this experience, we do whatever we can to survive, to get whatever it is that we need, so we know that we're safe or that we're loved. And so when you have a reaction now, you go into this fight or flight stage. And when you're in that fight or flight experience, you block off your prefrontal cortex. You don't have logic or reasoning. You go back to the same exact strategies that you used when you were young. And that's just the way that you survived. So anytime you're having a reaction now, whenever you feel rejected, you have this fear of death, you go back to the earliest strategies that you know that are hardwired in. So the way to deal with that now is to allow yourself to experience that in the safety of your present awareness. And what you're going to notice in that fight or flight experience is that you're going to think about all the things that relate to it from that level of consciousness. That is that fear consciousness, that is that fight or flight response. So as you're sitting with that, one thing that you can do to help is to just slow your breathing down. The breathing is just a nice way to enter the parasympathetic rest and digest stage, to get away from the fight or flight stage. And you're teaching your body that you're not going to die. And you're giving yourself loving awareness. And in that breath, you're paying attention to breath, that is being present to something. So not only are you being present, but you're also calming your system down. As that runs its course and it feels better, it'll open up your logic and your reasoning. You can see this differently. So powerful way to experience something that we probably all walk around with. And just keep in mind that as we're walking around with that is an active vibration, that people can feel that on an unconscious level. Most people have that same thing, and they're reacting in their own way to whatever your vibrational signature is putting out. So deal with it with kindness and love and breath, and allow yourself to heal that, because the aspect of you that is here is infinite. Love is infinite. The aspect, the awareness that you are is infinite. It can't die. So when you're giving that real primitive defense mechanism, that awareness of that infinity, it overrides it. And it reminds us that we aren't going to die, that we are infinite, and that you are safe, that you are loved, and you are okay. It's beautiful.